Hello my fellow creators and welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my Spellbinders July 2026 All Clubs Create series. So today we're going to be playing with the stencil of the month, which is Holiday Harmony, and just look how pretty that is, friends. So let's get started. Now when I was trying to figure out what colors to use for ink blending on my stencils today, I kind of went back and forth about doing monochromatic with just blues, or maybe going with traditional holiday colors. I don't know. I was going back and forth. I kid you not. And then it dawned on me, why don't I use the colors from the color palette we used for my Advent calendar series from last year? So that's what we're going to do. So I'll pop up a picture of that color palette and I'll put a link to it in the description box as well. I just thought, you know, it would be fun, and then I don't really have to think. And I could have also just pulled out my color cubes, but I didn't. Once I came up with the idea of using the color palette from last year, I just kind of went with it. So I am going to do my ink blending here on my sticky mat here. So anyway, I am going to use that color palette, and I'll show you what colors I'm using that I thought were close enough that we could consider it the same colors in that color palette. So now that I have this down here, I'll show you. So I'm going to be using my Distress ink cubes. And so I'm using peeled paint for the green, scattered straw for what looks kind of like a gold color on that color card, spun sugar for the lighter pink, and worn lipstick for the more darker pink. And then for the kind of paste that you could see was used on here, in one of my previous videos, I think I mentioned that all my pastes have dried up. But guess what, friends? I found one thing, and I think it was from maybe last year's Tailored Expressions Advent Calendar, maybe the year before. But when I opened it, it's still good. So I'll use that as my fifth color. So let's get started with our ink blending right away. So like I said, I'm starting with peeled paint, and I'm kind of let me move these other colors off for now because I don't want them in my way. But yeah, I've had to kind of postpone starting our series this month because I have been busy babysitting grandkids. Fortunately, they go back to school next week, thank goodness, because I am exhausted. I don't remember being this tired when my kids were home from summer vacation, but I don't know, the grands are wearing me out. But they are fun to have over. And next week, I only babysit them 2 full days. And then I will have to pick them up from school because they have early dismissal for the first week or week and a half. So I'll do that. But I don't know, it's just not going to be as busy as far as babysitting goes. I still have lots of stuff to do around my house. I have projects for the next birthday for the next grandbaby. I have projects that my other daughter wants me to do. So you all know how that goes. Okay, so that was peeled paint. And let me lift up my stencil here. Then stencil number 2, because this is a 5 stencil set, is going to be our scattered straw.
When there's love, there's always a way, and oh, this time of year we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say, and I claim I think about how I'm so lucky to have a place that I can come home to. Yes, I am on my way. We'll put our differences aside and just enjoy this moment of peace and love and happiness. We come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no.
Okay, friends, I've got my ink blending all done. So let me grab this. What is the name of it? It just says Iridescent Rainbow Happy Medium. And that is by Tailored Expressions. Now, I'll be sure to link to anything that is still available in the description box. Now, for the life of me, I cannot find my palette knife, so I needed something small enough to reach into this jar. So I have these like silicone little palettes, or I don't know what we want to call them, but I figured this would do the trick for getting this onto my stencil, and then I can smooth it out evenly once I have it lit on here. Now, I will be doing a giveaway again with this series, friends. I've not chosen my prizes yet, but I will be giving away at least 2 prizes, if not more. Okay, I think I have enough on here. So stay tuned, because I will give information on how to enter at the end of the series. So let me grab this and just kind of smooth it as I go down and up, making sure I have enough of this medium on here. And I can't really put it back in the jar because it did pick up some of the ink, because distress inks are water reactive. I lifted my stencil. So I kind of have to just be okay with some of that medium going to waste. And as far as cleanup goes, I'm just cleaning up with a baby wipe for now. And then I'll take everything over to my sink when I'm done and wash up really well. But let's get this stencil lifted off. And look how pretty. Now, because this is wet and I'm impatient, I have one that I did earlier that is dry that we will finish our card with. But let me very gently take this off and set it aside to dry. But look at all the sparkle. Isn't that just beautiful? All right, friends, here is the panel that I finished previously. And here is the one that I'm still waiting for it to dry. And you can see this one I trimmed down. I actually used one of my rectangle dies, my nesting rectangle dies, and trimmed it down. And I grabbed some 2x2 color wheel cardstock and I trimmed a matte layer, but I didn't want to waste. So I trimmed out the center part as well. And that's going to be what we use as our card panel. So let's put this card together. A lot of times when I'm short on a particular color of cardstock or specialty cardstock, this is what I'll do. I'll cut out that center part. That way I kind of save some of what I'm hoarding for future use. Okay, then we can add that to our card base. So I'm using a top folding card base. We're just going to lay it flat on my card base because I really do have to get this video done today for you, friends. And since I still have my regular weekend things to do tonight, I want to get this done. All right. Oh, that looks beautiful, doesn't it? And then as far as a sentiment, I was kind of going to use one of the dies from this month's clubs, but then I thought, you know, I want this to really be the star of the show. So I had an extra one of these sentiments already stamped and die cut from, it was the October 2025 stamp and die of the month. It was To You and Yours. And so I had an extra one here from a card making session I just had using some other Spellbinders goodies. So I thought, you know what, I'll just put that on there and it will be a quick and easy card. Other than the dry time, of course, for the panel. So the second one I'm going to let dry and then I'll finish it tomorrow. But this one I did earlier in the day and I just set it aside to dry. It took, I don't know, I set it aside for about 2 hours. Could it have been dry sooner than that? Possibly. I don't know. I didn't come in here and check till the grandbabies were gone. So at least 2 hours of dry time. Maybe less. So let me just put this down here, bottom right corner. And there's our completed card, friends. Now be sure to stick around for tomorrow when I'll be back with another club from the July All Clubs crate. And we'll see what we play with then. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I'd be thrilled if you subscribed to my YouTube channel or followed me on any of my other social media platforms. As always, have a beautiful, safe, and creative day. Thanks for watching. Bye.